Welcome to the Campbell County Backroads Farm Tour, where we will take you on an adventure around Campbell County, showcasing everything from a log cabin museum to wineries to good old-fashioned produce farms. Our first stop is Misty Ridge Farm in Camp Springs. Misty Ridge Farm is a unique riding stable farm and a place to go for people who love animals, especially horses. Here you will be able to see a variety of horse breeds, along with other types of farm animals.
This is Misty Ridge Farm, and we do full care boarding here, and we're a training and lesson facility here in Campbell County. And we opened this barn in 1996, in December of 96, so that the general public could have a recreational barn to come and enjoy horses, not just for show, but for recreation and what they do for the inside of the soul. This is an Amish mule. She just came to the farm. She's going to be a new lesson animal, and I'm going to use her for packing. I like to trail ride and pack, and we've been in training on how to load a pack, and she's going to be our first animal to do it ourselves. So, this is Rosie. Hi, Rosie. You're a girl. You're a big girl. So she's got the scars from working with the Amish for the collar. All things, she's only 16, but she was getting too slow for them, so she'll be perfect for people to learn how to ride and have a steady, relaxing, confident trail ride. So, that's Rosie. This is Thoroughbred. He was retired at a young age from Keeneland. He raced at Keeneland. He didn't win a race. He had several seconds and thirds. So he was retired into a program called New Vocations, where they retrain animals for a second career. And he's a 3-day event horse now. He's doing fantastic. This is the great catch. And I guess Rosie liked being on film. With that. So, this is a saddlebred. She'll be shown. She was shown just last weekend at Franklin County Fair. First time. She's young, first show. She's a natural pleasure saddlebred, and she'll be at the Alexandria Fair this year. She drives and rides country pleasure. You say, Abby? Abby, come on. Hey, girl, come on up. She's really sweet. And she's owner-owned and trained. So a lot of people here are learning to do it themselves, and you get to do it in a really relaxed area. It's a saddlebred. The other barn has Tennessee Walkers, another thoroughbred, and ponies. So we got everything covered here. If there's any breed you'd like to find out about. Sometimes we'll have Rocky Mountains. We've had, we call them Icelandic ponies, so we've trained and helped for handicap riding schools and things like that. So.
Our next stop is Neltner's Farm and Greenhouse. Neltner's Farm is a commercial fruit and vegetable farm located on 4 Mile Road in Camp Springs.
I'm Kevin Neltner here at Neltner Farm. We do a vegetable business all summer long, sell vegetables right here on the farm, also at the local farmer markets. In October we do the Neltner's Fall Fest. We have a lot of activities going on. It's a real festival deal. We got music, crafters, pony rides, wagon rides at the pumpkin patch, pick your own pumpkins, and a lot of stuff for the kids to do and get the family out to enjoy the weather.
Stop number 3 is just down the road from Neltner's on 4 Mile. Camp Springs Vineyard and Winery shows us some of the winemaking machines and processes.
Hello, my name's Chris Ensweiler. This is Camp Springs Vineyard Winery. It's an operation my brother and I and my dad started a few years ago. We've got about 3.5 acres of grapes here. Vidal Blanc, Cabernet Franc are two of them we grow. The basement of our building here has the winery part. Where we're standing out here is what we call our crush pad. That's where the grapes come in the day we pick and crush, destem, and press and all that. Today's the day of the farm tour. The weather's not the best in the world, but people are coming out and enjoying themselves. So,
Growing grapes and making wine is what our next stop is known for. Located on Vineyard Lane in Camp Springs is Stone Brook Winery.
This is our production facility for Stone Brook Winery. This is where we make the wine. We've actually started making the wine at our tasting room, which is a 1/10 of a mile up the road, but quickly we found out we ran out of room, so when we built this facility, we built it between our two vineyards. We have a vineyard in the front and in the back of this production facility, so that it makes it convenient for us when we're harvesting grapes. And what we do here is we bring our grapes in, we weigh them because we have to keep data on how much product that we've actually produced for our reporting processes that we have to do with the federal government. So we weigh our grapes, we put them in our crusher destemmer, which is right here to my left, and that takes the grapes and takes the stem off and crushes the grapes into a must, which goes into a pump in the bottom of the machine, which we then pump to our press, and that's a hydraulic press. It uses water pressure in a bladder, and as that bladder expands, it pushes the juice out of the grapes into the basin, and we have a collection vessel that sits underneath that basin, and when it's full we pump into our stainless steel tanks in our cold room so that we can cool our juice down on the grape wines, and which helps us make a really good quality wine. Once we got them cooled down, we introduce our strain of yeast that we want to get a particular flavor or mouthfeel for the wine into it. They ferment in there for about 60 days. They're usually done fermenting in that amount of time. At that point in time, after the fermentation process is complete, we start filtering our wines. We actually filter our wines 3 times. We do a coarse filter to get them off the lees and all the trash that came in from pick. We then do a intermediate filtration, which helps remove the yeast cells, the dead yeast cells that are collected from the fermentation process. And then when we finally bottle, we do a sterile filterization, which strips out everything that could be in that wine, including all the yeast cells. And then from that point on, once they're sterile filtered into our bottling tank, which is to my right, we go ahead and bottle. We have a 6-spout bottle filler, and that fills the bottles to exactly 750 ml. And from there, they're handed off to a pneumatic corking machine, which is a semi-automatic. We have an operator who pushes a foot switch, and the machine corks the bottle, and then it is handed off to a person who puts the caps on the bottle and then heat shrink the caps onto the bottle. That process probably, we normally run anywhere from 50 to 75 cases an hour with a crew, and so you know, it does a job for us, and it's economical for a small winery to do it that way. We could buy a piece of machinery, which is called a monoblock, for $80,000 or $90,000, but we have enough family and friends who help us that we can do it quite nicely, kind of semi-manually. And from there, we're cased goods. We case our wines, and then we take the labeler, which is also a kind of semi-automatic. The operator has to put the bottle on and take the bottle off, but it does label it as it's placed on the machine. And that machine probably runs around 28 to 32 cases an hour, depending on the speed of the operator. And from there, we warehouse our cases, and as our orders come in, we ship them out and take them to the tasting room, and that is our process of making the wine here at Stonebrook.
Our fifth stop is Little Rock Farm, which is a commercial vegetable production and beef cattle farm located on 10 Mile Road.
This is Little Rock Farm, and here at Little Rock Farm we raise seasonal produce, different kinds of vegetables, tomatoes and eggplants, peppers, all that kind of stuff. We also do freezer beef, which is all raised here on the farm. There's no antibiotics, no hormones. It's all USDA inspected. People can come here and just buy a pound of burger if they want. They can buy steaks or roast, whatever, or they can order halves and quarters. What else do we do? We do baked goods, jams and jellies, and we do zucchini breads, all that kind of stuff, with all stuff that we've raised here on the farm. So we try to do value-added products as well as the fresh products that we sell. We're also working on expanding our berry production. That's our current thing that we're kind of trying to do. And that's pretty much what we do here at Little Rock Farm.
Saddle Lake Equestrian Center is a premier horse facility that specializes in breeding, showing, and training horses and riders. It is also home to world champion horse Sonny's Hot Jazz at stop number 6 on our tour.
Welcome to Saddle Lake Equestrian Center. Here we have a full service training facility. We do stallion breeding services, horse training, lessons, and showing. Horses here are bred, raised, and trained, so it's a very full service from beginning to end process. We also coach the University of Cincinnati equestrian team, which is just a ton of fun. There's about 60 members that come over and ride weekly. We have 3 locations. The first location is Saddle Lake on Nelson Road in Camp Springs, Kentucky. It's where all the training happens and lessons. We have another small farm in the county that's used as the prospect farm so that horses can stay with their own age groups and be raised. So the yearlings will stay together in a yearling herd, and the 2-year-olds, before they're trained, they can, be horses and hang out and have a great life. We have another farm that is rented and run by Smith's Genetics Farm in Walton, Kentucky, that we use for all of the broodmare housing. So it's a very full service kind of atmosphere. We have a lot of customers from all over the country, and we even have some customers from outside of the country. We stand a 3-time world champion stallion, Sonny's Hot Jazz. He is eligible for all the Kentucky incentive programs, and we also ship around the country for breeding services also. On site here at the facility, we are open for internships from different colleges, and we also have a full service tax store. So it's very, from the beginning to the end, I guess, kind of inclusive. Okay, thank you.
Drive south down the AA highway and you will come across Clearview Ridge Farm. With a variety of livestock, including chickens, goats, and horses, this farm's primary enterprise is beef production.
This is Clearview Ridge Farm, California, Kentucky, property of Anita and Ron McCormick. I am James Wilbers, the son of Anita and Ron. We also live here on the farm. This is a cow-calf farm operation. We have Angus Hereford cows is the main breeding stock there. We breed with a Gelby bull, which is known for its size in the breeding process. We keep around 40 to 60 head of cattle at any given time on the farm. We have several parts of that operation. Some have to do with the breeding and selling of young calves, and then the second part of that operation is going to the market, buying the younger, 400-pound calves, bringing them back to the farm, raising them, feeding them on grass and grain to get them back up to market weight. We also have a small goat operation. Currently, we have about 10 goats. That's a product of the kids. They like to work on that. We also have a small batch of chickens and a garden and an orchard. The orchard consists of blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, apple and peach trees, and which are sold down the road at the roadside stand.
We are just over halfway through the Backroads Farm Tour and on our way to a vineyard that boasts 5 acres and over 3,000 vines. Welcome to Seven Wells Vineyard and Winery.
Seven Wells Winery. We're in Grand Slick, Kentucky. We've got 5 acres of grapes. Got about 7 different kinds of grapes, and we've got 12 different wines. Our production is about 7,500 to 8,000 bottles a year. And today we're having a farm tour. We have monthly dinners, music, all kinds of events, weddings, receptions, that kind of thing. And that's about it.
Stop number 9 on the tour is JT Lumber, Custom Sawyer, a portable sawmill run by Jeff Turner. JT Lumber was busy showing off their awesome skills to the crowd, so we were unable to get an interview with them. But here they are nonetheless with the sawmill in action. Set up right next to JT Lumber were representatives from Crail Farm with a corn sheller on hand to give you a taste of life on the farm.
Hi, we're Crail Farm. It's a three-generation farm. We do corn, soybeans, and hay. We have, we do a lot of corn and soybeans, and today we're doing a demonstration on how we shuck the corn, grind it up, and then we make it into cornmeal. And that's about it.
Step back in time for stop number 11 as we visit the Campbell County Log Cabin Museum. With hand-built cabins and more tools than your local hardware store, the Campbell County Log Cabin Museum is a wonderful history lesson.
Hi, I'm Ken Reese. I'm the owner of the Campbell County Log Cabin Museum. I started my museum in 1980 by starting out with one cabin. Over the last 30-some years, I have decided to add things to it. People have given me hundreds of artifacts, and I now have a full-fledged museum. I've been part of the Kentucky Museum Association for 25 years already. And in a year's time, I usually have about 1,000 visitors. If you come and visit my museum, you're going to find that I have 2 reconstructed log cabins. Both of them were built right before or right after the Civil War. I have 47 pieces of horse-drawn farm equipment. I have 4 antique tractors. I have a 7-ton steam engine, which ran Gupter's Mill here in our county for 125 years, and I have it functioning again. I have 2 windmills. I have a covered bridge, and overall, I'm considered an agricultural artifact and local history museum. I have a lot of local history involved here too. An average visitor can come by my museum anytime they like, any day of the week. But to get inside the museum, the buildings themselves, I have to be home. And the best way to do that is to call my phone number, and it's 859-466-0638. And that will get a hold of my cell phone, and I can meet you here on a day when I'm not working. Ordinarily, most days I'm around, or Sundays and Mondays, so that's my 2 days off. The cabins themselves are both historical buildings that were located other places in Campbell County. When I found the one, it was in pieces. Didn't have enough logs to build the building with, so I had to get another second cabin that was also disassembled. Put the 2 together, and that became my first cabin. That cabin took me from 1980 to 1983 to build. In 1983, I had my first open house that year. In 1990, I was notified that there was a cabin going to be burned down about 3 miles from here, and I live in Grand Slick here in Campbell County. And I found out that I could get the cabin, but it took me 6 years to disassemble and rebuild it on my property. The 2 cabins ended up being the centerpiece of my museum. I have a lot of other artifacts from all around Campbell County, bricks and miscellaneous pieces of farm equipment. And the whole purpose of my museum is to educate today's generation about yesterday's Campbell County. I welcome everybody to come to my museum, and I wish everybody a good day.
Our next stop is Greensleeves Farm in Alexandria. Greensleeves Farm is the first in Campbell County to offer a community-supported agriculture program. They also grow certified naturally grown produce.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to Greensleeves Farm. We are unusual in that we are certified naturally grown, which means we use no chemicals on our farm. And I like a lot of variety in my life. So we have 30 varieties of tomatoes. You can see them over there. We have 15 or more varieties of garlic that are grown. Even 5 or 6 different kinds and colors of potatoes. So you can have red, white, and blue potato salad. So we are a farm that specializes in excellent quality produce, but a lot of variety within each type of produce that we grow. And what we really focus on is community. This is a community-supported farm through CSA, Community Supported Agriculture, and we have members that come and help on the farm every week, which gives them a reduced cost for their produce. Or also community sponsors, folks that are busy and they need to, they want our good food, but they help us out by paying a little bit more for that. We have a lot of fun events. We have weed dating coming up next Sunday, August 4th, and that is like speed dating, but folks come out to the farm and they get their hands a little dirty, but they get to have local beer from Mad Tree Brewing. Chef Stephen Williams, owner of Bouquet Restaurant in Covington, will come out and cook for us. We'll have live music, and it is just a great time, and it just adds to the whole community aspect. You don't have to be a single. You can come as a couple and just enjoy the evening here on the farm. We're in a great location, 20 miles from Cincinnati, easy to find, and we enjoy doing what we have here.
Our final stop is a winery located on the ridges overlooking the Licking River Valley. On top of making wine, they keep bees, attract bluebirds, and have a butterfly garden. Here is Generation Hill Vineyard and Winery.
My name is Bill Buda, and my wife Sherry and I operate Generation Hill Winery. We're operating on my wife's home place with 4 generations up here. We're both retired, got in the wine business kind of as something to do. We're the smallest winery in Kentucky, but I think we're one of the best. Our wines have won a lot of awards and get a lot of achievement. And we're out here today for the Campbell County Farm Tour with a nice turnout, even though it's a bad day. And everybody's having a lot of fun.
That concludes the Backroads Farm Tour. We hope you join us next year as we make our rounds in the backcountry of Campbell County. And if you can't make it, you can always catch the action right here on Media Central.